Hi, my name's Catherine. I have ADHD and a pint of Ben & Jerry's. Let's f***ing go. I am for sure a person with ADHD who periodically struggles with anxiety and depression. I always like to mention I am not actually diagnosed on the autism spectrum because it is hella expensive to get that done. And realistically, I don't know if there's any benefit to me getting a diagnosis or not. I understand that self-diagnosis can be really problematic, so I just want to be clear, I'm not saying that I'm autistic or that I have any kind of personal expertise in autism. Having said that, it has been noted many times that I clearly display some traits of autism. Don't get distracted. Talk about the thing you need to talk about. It's one of those things I've done so automatically in certain settings in life that I never realized that not everybody actually does this. My inner monologue is constant. I am always writing conversations in my head before they happen. And the traits of this sort of inner monologue are feeling like you have to script every conversation before you have it, struggling to maintain eye contact because it feels really uncomfortable, spending a lot of energy trying to figure out when it is your turn to talk, spending a lot of energy trying to figure out the other person's facial expressions, obsessively overanalyzing every interaction after it's over. Was I awkward? Did I offend that person? Did they like me? I thought they liked me, but maybe they don't. And lastly, constantly looking for an escape route from every conversation. Like, constantly thinking of ways you could get out of, like, maybe I could just say I have to go to the bathroom right now and excuse myself, or maybe I could act like I have a task to do over there. The other day, I was having a professional conversation with someone. This person contacted me. They needed me to do something for them. Do you ever have one of those, like, generic corporate or small talk conversations and you're saying these pointless automated things that are socially acceptable back and forth, and one of you accidentally gives the wrong response? I had already had like 3 little exchanges with this woman, and then I said to her, "So, how may I help you right now?" And she said, "Good, thank you." That's the answer to the wrong generic soulless corporate question. That's the answer to, how is your day going today? But I hadn't asked that yet. I hadn't gotten to that part of my script. And when she gave me the response that was not the right response, my brain shut down. When this happens to me, it's like circuit overloads, and it's like it sends this person an error message. Catherine is loading. Please wait. Try your request again later. And there was this awkward silence where, in hindsight, I think she was probably kind of embarrassed because she realized she had given the wrong automated response. And I literally had just run out of script, and I didn't know what to say because I guess I'm not really thinking or really interacting in these situations in some ways. And I was just like, why are you talking to me? What do you want me to do right now? And to her, I think I must have sounded so rude. Or I think maybe she thought I was making fun of her a little bit because I think she was probably kind of embarrassed now that I think about it. And I am never trying to be rude to people. And the reality of these like super generic fake-ass conversations is that they are very predictable. Like this problem where somebody says something that's not on my script and I don't know how to respond actually doesn't happen that often. Like, I have studied the scripts and the structure of conversation and what I'm supposed to say at certain times for many years. Like, I know which buttons I'm supposed to push, but I know it because I've spent a lot of time deliberately studying it, and I've memorized a lot of algorithms. I don't think that's actually what's meant by good communication. Is it? Comment down below. Do you do this? Do you know what I mean? Like, is that really even what communication means? I don't think I actually read people very well at all. If I don't know them, if they're strangers to me, I don't think I read them just so much as I can kind of guess correctly enough a lot of the time. It's not really a problem in my life, it's just something I find extremely interesting. One of the things that made me believe that I was not like ADHD or neurodivergent, like I didn't fall into this category for a long time, is that I am very, if you haven't noticed, verbal. Extremely verbal. I thought for a really long time that having a big vocabulary and the ability to sit and give long monologues like I do in these videos, like what I'm doing right now, I thought that being able to do this made someone a great communicator. Not the case. Communication is not just being able to talk, it's also being able to listen, being able to read another person and just kind of read a room. I'm not so good at that, it turns out. And now that I have gotten to a point in my life, as a lot of us have in the last few years, where I understand that life is short and I want to be my authentic self, and people-pleasing is not a great way to live your life. Now that I'm really just kind of being me in the world and letting people like or not like me and not reacting to it, I am finding more and more that I don't know how to have these conversations. I don't know how to read people. I went to a party last night and I was telling somebody the story about the woman saying, "Good, thank you." And the person I was talking to was like, "You guys had slightly different automated scripts and their script didn't sync up with yours." And I was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Now that I'm not killing myself trying to make everybody in the world be my friend, I realize, like, I don't like small talk. I'm not actually good at it at all. Like, the authentic version of me is like, why are we talking right now? Why are we doing this? What does this mean? By the way, I'm not eating this entire pint in one sitting. I'm only eating like half of it. Like, it was already in my freezer. It was already open. Don't judge me. I'm going to read from my notes again the 6 characteristics of this inner monologue. Comment down below how many of these traits you have when you're having a conversation. They are: scripting conversations before you have them, constantly trying to figure out when it's your turn to talk, having to force yourself to make eye contact, constantly trying to figure out another person's facial expressions, severely overthinking every interaction after it's finished, and constantly thinking of ways to potentially escape an interaction. I personally do 5 out of the 6. I do not struggle with eye contact with people if I am actually directly having a conversation with them. That is one autistic trait I do not have at all. I don't really have a problem looking people in the eye when I'm talking to them, as long as I'm really clear on the reason why we're having a conversation. If it's one of those weird small talk fake conversation things that doesn't really need to be happening, sometimes I get a little bit weird about it. But every person I know who is diagnosed on the autism spectrum, I think without exception, has like some struggle with maintaining eye contact. It just feels physically uncomfortable to them somehow. And if you care, the reason I'm sitting in my car right now is that this is a significantly less distracting environment than my home. I have been severely in the ADHD struggle for like a few weeks now. I actually made a video about it last week. It seems to be getting better. I seem to be getting a little more back on track. If you are an ADHD person and you are feeling a little bit all over the place right now, you are struggling to complete tasks or remember what you're doing a lot of the time, you are not alone in that. A lot of people are going through this. You are not bad or stupid or lazy. I don't have any spectacular professional advice or anything for you about how to stop those behaviors. And I actually almost made another whole video about kind of being a mess and struggling this weekend, and then I decided not to because there's only so much of me putting that out on the internet that can be helpful to other people. Battery died in the camera. Even my technology wants me to shut up. It's a lot later now. It's nighttime, but I wanted to close with this one last thing. After I filmed all of that, I went to Party City with my kids. We needed some Halloween costume things. Tell me what you think of this interaction. I have things like this all the time. We couldn't find what we were looking for. We looked at all the accessories. So I went to the front desk and I asked the woman there if they had any unicorn horns. She said no. Where she said no so fast without even looking that I kind of was like, you just don't want to talk to customers right now, right? Like I really didn't want to be rude or pushy or be like total Karen demanding things, but she said it so fast, I was like, are you sure you don't have any unicorn horns? Because you got, devil horns and angel halos and cat ears and every other kind of headband out there. And she said, oh, you want a headband with a unicorn horn. I thought you meant you just wanted the horn. Guys, how bad are my communication skills? This is a serious question. Is that normal? Like, what is a unicorn horn that doesn't go on your head for a Halloween costume? Like, did I ask for something weird? I don't know. Anyway, I got really, really insecure immediately and worried that she thought I was being really rude or pushy somehow, but we smoothed it over. She found us the unicorn horn headband. I don't know how to talk to people.